before we deal with the geometry, let's have a look at the material. So the material selection, how you define the properties of the material that you're going to simulate, or materials, could be plural, of course. You do that with engineering data. So you can right-click and edit, or simply double-click. And that gives us to the schematic engineering data. And what does that show? So it shows that at the moment we have available structural steel, and that's what ANSYS does by default. Now we want to use a different material, let's say a copper. So how do we do that? Well, to do that, you click on engineering data sources, and that brings you, okay, and then it becomes highlighted, and it gives you a list of possible data sources. And that's what data sources, and then the material within that source. So at the moment we are in general materials, but you can select some other materials. Okay, for instance, here I clicked on composite. You will do that a lot later. Still do it. So, but I don't want composite. I want general materials. You can actually control and have more than one. But let's say I just want to have general materials. So I want a copper. So let's see, and copper alloy. Okay, I want it. So what do I do? What do I need to do? Well, you need to click on that little plus here. So if you click on the plus, it tells you that it's now in your book. So okay, I don't need to add anything else. Kind of a quick look at the properties of copper alloy. Okay, so this is highlighted. Now concrete, but I want to look at copper. So when you highlight one of these, so you select if you want the library, then the material, copper, and then you've got the properties, and you've got little pluses that you can press to get more detailed. So the one that we really care about, okay, density could be important. For instance, if the self-weight of the part is important, or if there are some inertial forces, as there won't be in the simulation, but the most important one is elasticity. So it's telling you that it's isotropic elasticity, and it's based on Young's modulus and Poisson ratio. So that's how it has been defined. I mean, you can create your own materials, and we will do that in other tutorials, later tutorials, but just wanted to show you here. So we can, it tells you that Young's modulus, Poisson ratio, and so on and so on. But it's only based on Young's modulus and Poisson ratio. If you remember, isotropic elasticity, only two components are independent, and the others derived from these two. Anyway, so yeah, we have got our selected our copper. We can get away from engineering data sources, and now yeah, that's what we content we have got. So now, when later we assign material properties, we can say, okay, this part is made of copper alloy. Okay, and here on the toolbox, similar to the main toolbox from Workbench, it will allow us later to create our own properties and add them and so on and so on. What I was showing before, the properties can also be seen in this field. Now, once this is done, can just exit the data source, engineering data sources, material sources. That's just wanted to show you. It's not complicated at all. It's actually, this one is easier to show on videos than in text. I mean, it's a bit confusing in the tutorial. Okay, now next time is geometry.